Hey RB, how's it going? Let me know if you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Okay, great. Well, this is a zebra tank. I was going to show it off tonight because I recently redid it. Uh, but let me get you closer. So we got a couple of males right there. Yeah, they seem to like it, like the new setup better than the way I had it. But we're trying to get nothing but adults in here and get it established with just mature adults so that hopefully we can get some spawning going. So the males just hang out by their caves once they've picked out their caves. And if the females get fat and happy enough, they eventually, hopefully, stop by and take care of some business. The biggest thing I did that I think will help is, they talk about, well, you need high flow, and a lot of people use powered jets and all that, but you can get flow going even with just airflow. So they got a big old flat air stone that is putting out all that air. And I got one on the other end doing the same thing. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but it creates a very nice amount of flow. Hey Neo, how's it going? Appreciate you stopping by. Um, I don't know if you can see, but in the middle, you can see water flowing from the left and from the right, kind of meeting in the middle, and then, yeah, very bubbly, and then going down. So it keeps a good circulation going around and around and around, and keeps things moving around. And zebras do like clean water, and they like highly oxygenated water. So I don't know if you can see the surface of the water, but there's a lot of bubbles, and that just helps make the water, the air exchange, do a lot better. So it's looking good. I got it whipped into shape, and so hopefully we're hoping to get some breeding going. But these are all adults. They're all at least 3 years old. These are youngsters that we've raised from babies, So they are offspring of the originals that we got. And then I'll basically give you an overall look of it. Let me zoom out, shall we? Yeah. I'm using my new phone. So hopefully it won't overheat. So we've got 2 sponge filters on each corner, and then of course the big air stones on each end. Water's looking good right now. Anyway, this is a zebra tank. Now there's 5 pairs in here, so 5 males and 5 females. So I think it'll be a good starting point for us. All right, let's go ahead and go back to my room so we can check on all the tanks you're very familiar with. Turn down that fan. I don't know how the phone's going to do as far as noisiness. Of course, we're back to the 40 breeder. The only major change in here is, I don't know if you remember, but I bought 10 Neon Tetras about a week and a half ago. And they have officially gone through quarantine and medications. Let me adjust this thing here. Okay. So I bought 10 and I didn't lose any of them, which is awesome because when I bought 10 at Petco, only 3 ultimately made it through and survived. So there's 3 bigger ones in here with the 10 newer ones. Let's turn on some extra light. I think maybe it'll help. The neons are, it's been a lot of years since I actually had neons. You can see a bunch of baby plecos wanting to come and get the food too. But I'm really enjoying having neons again. They're just gorgeous little fish. They must be feeling good because there are 2 of them over here fighting with each other. They most likely can't really hurt each other, so it's just a good sign that they're feeling good. They're healthy, they're feeling comfortable. It was funny because the 3 biggest ones in here, they were really skittish and shy. I guess they didn't want to explore the tank. They didn't feel safe. But I'm not joking. The same day I put the 10 in here, they found all the other neons and they joined the school, and they were immediately, just all of them were out running around everywhere. So when they say some certain fish are schooling fish, it is true, and it's not just a sales kind of thing to get you to spend more money. You know, you can buy 2, but the person's going to tell you, well, you really should have a minimum of 6 or a minimum of 10. It's not because they're trying to, usually, But if you do your research, you'll figure out that's a schooling fish, and it really needs to. Um, it does need to be in a school to help it feel comfortable. Even catfish, Coriodoras, they're considered schooling fish. So they're just, I mean, you could literally have one in a tank and he'll be okay, but he's just going to be way happier if he has more of his own kind to hang out with. The little young plecos must be hungry because they are coming out to get the food. They don't care how much light is on. Now these are the super yellows. The dad is back there and he's on more eggs. He's in that cave back there. And he's sitting on top of wigglers. The parents are yellow and black, so their babies can be yellow, cream color, or they can be white. So we're probably going to get both, honestly, out of them. Let me try zooming. They can be in Gen Pop, yeah. Yeah, RB, they're really gorgeous little fish. But there's, yep, chewing on some Rapashi. I think the phone's doing good. It seems like it's pretty good picture. I'll be excited if it actually works because my old phone would overheat by now. I did see, here's some good news on the green lasers. I fed them protein. This is Rapashi, but it's, yeah, they're pretty, I like them, RB. You can, I don't know if you can see, if I have to shine a light, but there's a female back up in there. There she goes. She's shy. But I really like the yellow ones. I'm hoping that over some time I can get some really vibrant, oh look. That's breeding behavior right there. The male is trying to talk her into it. That's what I was fixing to say. This is this Rapashi right here is higher in protein. And so sometimes you can do everything you can do, but the females won't make eggs if they don't have enough protein. Yeah, I was invading their privacy for sure. So anyway, I've been feeding protein, and they've been getting a little frisky. So I'm hoping, you can see that male, he's trying to talk her into it. She doesn't seem to be interested. She doesn't seem real fat, full of eggs yet. So, you know, it may take a couple more days. I'm really hoping I can get some babies out of them, but we'll see. I mean, the good news for me is I was worried I didn't even have a male left. There's only 5 of the green lasers left. But that's definitely male behavior right there. So that's always nice to get that confirmed. There's a little, see, that one's white and black. Those are white and black, and that's what you call a super white. And those came from the yellow parents. So they're going to make both. Ultimately, I'll just separate them, and you sell off the white and black ones as the super white and sell off the yellow ones as a super yellow. Yeah, RB. Yeah, Neil, that definitely helps. Definitely helps. I did the water change, and then I fed them some protein. And the next evening, I was seeing behavior like I just showed you. But I don't know if it actually produced any eggs yet. But, you know, we'll keep our fingers crossed. A lot of fish breeding, unfortunately, is wait and see, hoping, a lot of hope, and a lot of patience and time and patience. But anyway, so yeah, that's some good news. I'm excited to have the neons in here because they just help make the whole tank seem more alive. Of course, Coriodoras are always great about being very active. And the plecos are breeding like crazy in here, so that's always good. They're gonna, unfortunately for me, they're gonna force me to probably tear this tank apart sooner than I wanted to. But you know what? It's a problem I'm willing to tackle. Recently consolidated. We've got an expo coming up where we're gonna take probably all of these guys are going to be for sale. Super red short fins, snow white short fins, snow white long fins. There's some snow white, or not snow white, super white youngsters in here. They're very good at hiding though. But this is a 55 gallon. It is full of quite a few fish. So we're going to have to we got a lot of work ahead of us to try to get these moved. And that's a bunch of Swassertang. That moss there is Swassertang. Most of there might be a little of a different kind of moss mixed in with it, but I'm going to be selling that at the expo too. And any shrimp we bag up, which I don't know if we will, but if we do have any shrimp to sell, they'll get some Swassertang in there with them. The super red longfins are doing good. They've had 2 batches, and I think she's about ready to maybe have a third. So I'm really going to have to get in here and start catching some of these out, so we don't get too overcrowded. But there's short fins in here and long fins in here. Long fins sometimes produce short fins, maybe about 10% of the time. But I had a short fin male in here, as you may or may not remember, at first, because I didn't have a long fin male. We got a long fin male at Aquashella, so he's in here, and they've spawned once since Aquashella. So the percentages will go up in this tank on long fins over short fins when both parents are long fin. This tank is more snow whites. But they're bigger. So they'll go for a little bit more money. But these need to be sold as well. I do have the zebra tank. I have 1 pair of zebras in here. That's the male back there. You can see his tail sticking out of a cave. He is fanning right now. I'm hoping he's on eggs. But there again, it's a lot of hope. I don't want to disturb him just to check. You have to have a lot of self-control in this when you're breeding fish as well. Because my curiosity is like, man, you know, I keep watching for indicators. The female, she stays behind that chunk of driftwood. So we won't see her. This tank has been redone. yeah, Neil. Yeah, a lot of times what I'll do, no joke, is I'll just keep there's the female. You can see her tail. See the back end of her tail right there beside the moss. But I have switches on all the lights, so I can individually turn them on and off. So a lot of times on the zebra tank, I just keep that light off. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the tripod here. This tank, if you remember, this tank had, this is this is a 29, if I remember right. But this one had a whole bunch of young plecos in it. The starlights were in it, and those all got moved. Now I didn't. Neo is here, so let me see if we can show her a starlight or two. She does enjoy them. They are a little shyer though. Let's see if we can. There he is, Neo. That's one of the youngsters. There's about 11 youngsters in here. I don't know if I'll take all of them to the expo, but I'll take probably half. But anyway, so this tank has been redone. Yeah. I put a different substrate in here, so this is going to be hard water, not soft water. The water's a little cloudy because it's kind of got out of whack a little bit, but it's nothing that will kill the fish. Just bacterial bloom, so it's got to settle in. But anyway, we brought the rice fish in from outside, the baby rice fish from outside. These were all born this summer, and they've been through quarantine. Any fish that comes in from outside has to go through quarantine. Any fish, plant, snail, anything that comes in the house must go through quarantine, which includes being treated with medication, because we cannot afford to have a disease run through the house and kill especially our expensive plecos. But these are baby rice fish. They're chewing on a chunk of rapashi. They figured out how to eat it. RB, there's an orange strain. I have an orange strain, and I have a platinum strain, which is the white ones. See, that one there is a bigger one. That's a platinum. They call it a platinum. Jordan has the orange adults in his room. We're going to try to breed them in his room. But yeah, these are, oops, I'm not paying attention. These are a lot of orange babies. Yeah, so there's orange and white, and of course the babies are all mixed. And the funny thing is, the orange darkens up outside in the sunshine, and they look a lot more orange when they are actually getting hit by the sun. When you bring them inside, they lighten up, which is not a good thing, but most people buy these to put in a pond. So the orange ones will. Some people prefer them, although the white ones are nice too. You'll see them in the pond. But anyway, these are the young rice fish. There's quite a few in there. I don't know. I'd have no idea to venture a guess exactly how many are in there, but that's the majority of them because they're all attacking the rapashi. But this tank should settle down in the next couple of days. I bought a new kind of plant too. This plant here, I'll show you. You'll see it better in a shrimp tank. I got a bundle of it and I spread it around in different tanks because I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about it, so I'm not sure if it prefers hard water or soft water. There's one snow white pleco shortfin in here, just to kind of keep algae down. He's enjoying the bubbles. They like to do that. It probably feels good on them. Maybe tickles them. I don't know. But anyway, I bought this plant, and this plant went through quarantine with the neons. But I like it. I wrote down the name, but I need to look it up still and see. But the tips of it are pink. It's this. I'll show you a better example. But so I've got a couple of sprigs of it in this tank, and we'll see how it does. We'll see how it does in the hard water as opposed to the soft water. This tank down here, if you remember, is our little 2.5 gallon Walmart special plastic. And I apologize, I didn't have time to clean algae off. There's a couple of little plecos in there that are falling down on their job, I guess. But anyway, this tank is got baby saber tails in it. So if you're not familiar, you may remember or may not. Let me show you up here. I got two females and one male, and the male's hiding back there. There he is. Let me zoom out. So this is hard water. These are live bear fish, similar to guppies, swordtails, guppies, platies, mollies. They all prefer hard water. So this has got crushed coral on the bottom, and it'll keep it hard. There's another one of those plants with the pink tip on the end. I'm hoping it keeps the pink tip like that. Neil said, "What's hard water?" Basically, Neil, the tap water that we drink here in the United States in general, but probably true for you too, is considered hard water, is high pH, which that's good for humans, but it's full of calcium and minerals, got lots of minerals in it, but it's considered hard water. Because it's basically almost like liquid rock. But basically, if you strip the minerals out of the water and all that, the water becomes soft. A lower pH, which is more towards acid side, and high pH they call alkaline. So trust me, you don't want to drink water that's leaning towards the acid side. It would not taste good. And that's why a lot of the bottled waters, some of the bottled waters one of their selling points is high pH water, high alkaline water. And that's true. It tastes good. There's a pleco. But anyway, so you have hard water, and then you can make hard water into soft water by stripping out all the minerals out of it. And that's what an RO unit does, reverse osmosis, and you run it through there, and it's a bunch of filters, and it just filters everything out, and it makes the water, quote unquote, soft. You can also make hard water soft by active substrate, which is this black substrate. What it does is it dissolves in the hard water. It's like volcanic ash or something, and it slowly turns the hard water softer and more acidic. So different plants and different fish like different environments. Some do better in hard water, some do better in soft water, and so fish or plants. So that's why on this new variety of plant that I got, I bought a whole sprig of it, which ended up being about maybe 7 stems. And I went ahead and put a couple in each different environment without doing any research, right? So once I get a chance to Google this plant, it'll probably tell me, well, no, it prefers softer water, or no, it does like hard water. It does best in hard water. I don't know, but I figured since I didn't know, I would just go ahead and put and test it myself. So I've got a few here, a few there in different environments, and we'll see what happens. Now here is a shrimp tank with low pH, and this is one of a sprig of it. And I just think it's a gorgeous little plant, but I don't know anything about it, so we'll see. They did have roots at the very bottom of the stem. They were rooting in low pH water, so maybe that's what they prefer. We'll see. Yeah, RB. The thing is with plants, I don't try to explain this without getting too involved in it. Usually pink or red is a tough color to come by in an aquarium plant. Greens are fine. You can do greens all day long, light green, dark green, da da da. But to get pink or red, there are plants that do it, but it's usually a plant that is going to require a lot higher maintenance or a lot specific environments, right? And some people even go so far as to inject extra CO2 in the water in their tank, because all plants take in CO2 to produce oxygen, even if they live underwater. And so there's planted tanks that are just gorgeous, but they're injecting CO2, which is expensive, and they also have high dollar light on top of the tank that just replicates the sun really well, and it's an expensive light, and they run it for hours and hours and hours and hours. High light for long periods of time, and CO2. So you can do it, and then you can have gorgeous red and pink plants. So when I saw this at the pet store, I specifically asked him. I said, are you injecting CO2 in the tank they're in? Because they looked like this in the pet store. And he said no. He said, I'm not doing anything special to them. They're just doing it, just doing this. So I said, okay. Well, it was only $5 for the bundle. I was like, well, heck, let me try it out then. So I'm hoping that it won't be yeah, it could be RB. I took a picture of the name. All right, Neil, be careful. I don't remember. I took a photo of it so I wouldn't forget, and I just haven't gotten back to my camera roll to get that name again. I almost think it started with a W. He pronounced it, but I'd never heard of it. So we'll see. Once I figure it out for sure, I'll let you know. But anyway, these guys I had a bit of bad news. You know, I had three of them. Well, I only have two now. One of the females died, and um, I think it was something I fed her that she got stuck, and I didn't pay attention. I wasn't in the room. But anyway, long story short, she died for no apparent reason other than I think she tried to eat a big chunk of a piece of meat food that I fed. So I probably shouldn't have fed them that. So it's kind of on me. Um, but the other female, the male, I don't know. Females are always voracious eaters. So I think she just ate way too much and got maybe choked on something. I don't know if a fish can choke. But now the other female, so that's the bad news. The good news is the other female was very, very pregnant, and I caught her out of the tank and I put her in a floating box, and I put that floating box in this 2.5 gallon because it was the only other hard water tank that I had going. So the box that I had is a floating box, but it has slits in the bottom, so when she had a baby, the baby would fall downward and safely stay away from the mom so she couldn't eat them. So she was in here giving birth while her sister was killing herself, choking on something. I'm guessing. Anyway, the good news is that mama had quite a few babies. There's probably 10 to 12 youngsters in this tank. Oops. They're in with the blue shrimp, blue neos. And they're doing really well. They're very bright orange, even though you're looking through a layer of algae, most likely. But anyway, so that's the silver lining on the saber tails. I think they're hungry. We haven't had much progress on the expensive shrimp. I've been trying not to disturb them. I see one death, so not happy about that, but just going to leave them be and see what happens, you know. I don't know if you remember RB, but we saw a baby fish in here, and I thought it might have been a whiptail catfish, red lizard. But it's been, I don't know, 2-3 weeks now, and it's growing. And I spotted it the other day. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it now. But it's a baby Cory, panda Cory. So the only thing I could think of is maybe I probably transferred some of this Surwasser tang and must have had an egg in the moss, and he hatched out in here when I moved him from the 40 breeder where all the pandas are at. And you'll find that happens a lot. And a lot of times eggs get laid in the main tank, and the eggs get eaten, or the babies hatch and they get hunted down. So that's why you try to put in as much cover as you can. If you're not, going to be specifically trying to save them. But yeah, he's in here by himself, and he'll be fine in here. I'll wait until he's big enough that I consider him not to be on the menu. from the adults, and then I'll catch him out of here and put him in the 40 breeder, and he can run around with all of his brothers and sisters. But in the meantime, the red crystals are doing great in here. I think last time I did a stream, I showed you all the babies. There's a ton of little youngsters in here. There's a couple on top of the sponge filter. So the red crystals are doing really well. Making lots of youngsters. There's some back there. So basically, Jordan and I talked about it, but keeping it real with you, we've decided that the more expensive shrimp, the red crystals, are more tolerant than some of the other more expensive ones down here that we were trying. So we're thinking about, it's just we don't keep our house cool enough in the summertime. So they don't do, they want cooler water. I mean, like, they prefer like 76 degrees, and we don't keep our house that cold in the summertime. Now in the wintertime, we don't heat our house very much, so our house in the wintertime is about 70. 71, 72 maybe at the warmest. So they would do fine then, but I think Jordan and I decided that we can't spend the money on expensive shrimp that only do well in the winter and then barely survive in the summer. And I mean, it's our fault because of the way we live and keep our house warmer a lot of folks keep their houses way cooler in the summer than we do, but our house is not very energy efficient, so if we kept it 72 degrees in here, our electricity bill would be astronomical. It's bad enough as is. So we're just going to have to roll with it, and you figure out what you can and cannot do. So we're going to keep the red crystals, but we're going to go back to Neos. We're going to do red Neos and blue Neos. They're way more tolerant of warmer water. So that's what our plan is anyway. That's going to have to mean is I'm going to have to probably convert this tank and this tank to hard water, because right now they're soft, low pH. I'm going to have to convert them to hard water for Neos. Just like this is hard water, and it's got blue shrimp in it, which, by the way, I don't know if I didn't mention it, and I don't know if you can see them, but somebody in here had babies. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to see them. There's a bunch of baby blue shrimp in there. So yeah, Neo's RB Neocaridinias sell really well because they're harder to kill and they're easy to breed. So you almost make up for it in volume. But the most popular color is red, and the second most popular color is blue. So for sure, we're going to start back up into it. We used to do a lot of them with red and blue. And then I'll still have the red crystals because they're the most tolerant of the more expensive variety, the Caridina. But the red crystals will be the two tanks down here, which I won't have to make any adjustments to. Um, but they'll be all those red crystals up here will be moved down here in one of these, and these will both end up being red crystals, and then it'll be probably Bloody Marys and Blue Dreams in these two at minimum. And honestly, probably I will for sure be putting a Neo, either red or blue, in here to be grown, to be populating and making. And I probably will convert this 20 long into hard water so that we can do more Neos in there. And we may literally just do red and blue, red and blue, red and blue, and not bother with any other colors. Trying to see how you see, trying to figure out how you see chat there. Oh, there we go. So yeah, we'll still be selling the red crystals. I don't want to get rid of the red crystals. They do slow down in the summertime, but they if I put them down here, they'll be closer to the floor. So these tanks are like 1 degree cooler than the tanks in the middle, and then that tank up top is like 2 degrees cooler or warmer, just because heat rises, you know. So if I move red crystals down here, they should do just fine, even through the warmer summer months in the house. So that's the plan anyway. I ended up putting the red lizard whiptail other male in here. So there's 3. The last of the 3 are in here. One girl and 2 boys. And I figure they'll just have to figure it out. But they're not very active, so this is a 9-gallon. They pretty much, it's got good flow in it, but it's plenty of room for them. And then I still got the 5-gallon up here. This thing, I'm going to start transferring these plants around. I already have a little bit because they're going crazy. This is called Anacharis, and I got it at PetSmart or Petco. Usually big box stores carry these in a bunch, and it's about $5 for 5 or 6 stems of it. And if you don't kill it, it does really well under a lot of different conditions. It's almost weed-like. You give it enough food and light, and it'll do this. But I'm just kind of procrastinating maybe till after the expo to mess with this tank. This tank has a bunch of cull shrimp in it of varying different colors. And it has assassin snails. They are mobbing Rapashi. Hey Neil, welcome back. Those are assassin snails. They're hungry because they're eating the Rapashi. Usually they kill other snails and eat the snails, but there's no other snails in here for them to kill and eat. They usually don't kill each other unless you just starve them to death. But yeah, these are assassin snails. They're actually I think they're kind of a pretty little snail, yellow and black stripes. But you cannot have them with other snails because they will kill them and eat them. They're named assassin for a reason. They're very good at killing other snails. but that's a 5 gallon. And then you remember who this is? Snoozing boy. He's dead asleep. Snoozing boy. You just gonna stay sleeping, Astro? You silly. Oh, there's an eyeball. Here's an eyeball. And then we have, last but not least, the 2.6 gallon. As you can see, I've added some plants to it, some Anacharis to it, and that new plant, and one spree of that right in the middle. And basically, we'll see how it goes. I've had no issues with this tank yet. I'm still waiting for something to go wrong, but I'm not expecting it to. I still am very impressed with it. It's a beautiful little tank. Oh, Neo, I ended up selling her this last Tuesday. I sold her to somebody who had 2 mature males, and they said they wanted her, so I gave them a good deal on her. So she's gone, yeah. So I won't be breeding them anymore. As you know, I'm sad about it, but I think it's time to move on. These are red shrimp in here. And guess, I don't know if you just caught that, I threw a couple of baby zebras in here. Now, granted, they can't stay in here, but they're so small. I figured this is a pretty safe place to keep them. And it's kind of fun to catch sight of a zebra youngster every now and then. Well, there you go. I was going to say, I didn't want to focus. The good news is there's a bunch of females in here, and like I said, I think I told you one time before, there's only one male shrimp in here. And one of the females, I believe, is buried, which means she's got a bunch of eggs. So I think it's a matter of time when all these females will get buried, and we'll have us an explosion of red shrimp in here. I just call them red shrimp. Technically, they're supposed to be Bloody Marys, but I don't know if they're good enough quality to bother calling them Bloody Marys, so I just refer to them as red shrimp. RB said, did you reveal her past? No, I didn't, RB. Because here's the thing. I got to thinking about it. And it's highly unusual that a female will kill a male. It's usually the other way around. So I almost think that yes, they probably did get into it, and maybe it was just an unfortunate thing that I didn't notice that he had a ripped fin from the whole thing, and it got infected, and blah blah blah. One thing led to another. So it's hard for me to say absolutely that she's a killer. Yeah, I mean, she probably got the best of him, which is unusual. Usually the males, but she's she was every bit the same size as him. So Neil said he probably kept bothering her when she was trying to nap. So yeah, I don't doubt that they, and I've seen them before. I've seen the starlights, the female starlights, they even would fight with each other. So it does happen, and plecos in general sometimes have disagreements, and they have the weaponry to damage each other. And so, if you don't notice it or catch it, in the wild, it's survival of the fittest. So, but in your aquarium, you usually have a chance to, catch a fish and maybe isolate it and medicate it and all that. But obviously, I didn't probably notice anything, and by the time I did, it was pretty advanced. So I ended up losing him, right? So I thought, you know what? There's no telling. I mean, she may tussle with the lady who bought her, has two boys, and I did ask her, are they full size? And she's like, yeah, they're full size. So she may actually do fine with those others and it not be an issue. I don't know. That's one of the young zebras back there. The little white dots are called copepods or copepods. They're like little tiny crustaceans. You see them on the front of the glass. They say it's a sign of a healthy aquarium. They usually don't cause a problem. Some fish will eat them. It's extra fish food. I think zebras might crunch on them actually. So it's not a bad thing they're in here. But anyway, I mean, I would have never sold her, probably never ever sold her if I would have, just billed her as a killer. And that might be justified or it might have been unfair. I don't know. I can't be positive about it. So, I mean, if she'd have asked me, I'd have told her the truth, but she didn't ask me. She was just happy to get her because I sold her real cheap, so what are you gonna do? But anyway, that's the latest update. Neo, did you get to see the zebra tank? I don't know if you were here early enough at the beginning of the stream. I was showing people the zebra tank. Hey, Drogo, how's it going? Yeah, no problem, RB. I mean, I'm going to tell it like it is. I mean, I would never knowingly sell anybody a sick fish. If I knew 110% that she was just something wrong with her, that she killed every... But it wasn't like that. They bred for like 3 years together, never had a problem. So... You came in at the second tank. Drogo has been a stressful week. Yeah, Drogo. Well, I'm glad. I appreciate you being here and chilling out with me. Do you want to see the zebra tank, Neo, real quick? I redid it. I aquascaped it. It's out here in the living room, so I'm gonna walk out here and I'll show you real quick. Oh wait, I gotta get the flashlight. or a flashlight. We're trying to get these zebras comfortable so that they hopefully will make some babies. But this is a 75 gallon in the living room. Good sized tank. Sponge filter in each corner. And then two, they call them bubble wands, one on each end. And they do a really good job of creating current. So I don't know if you can see it, but in the middle, the water meets in the middle and kind of swirls. Zebras like some kind of flow. They don't have to have a tremendous amount, but this is a cheapest way you can get flow. You can see how the two streams are coming together and kind of hitting each other and going down. So that's what they like. A little bit of flow. And it helps. They like very highly oxygenated water. Because where their natural environment is a river, very fast flowing river. It goes through a lot of rocks and stuff, so very well oxygenated. Easy for me to say. But anyway, so yeah, Neo, I like it too. I thought I had those, and I thought, you know what? There's no reason why I can't just have these put in like this, and because it's going to help me accomplish what I need. It's a cheap way to get flow. I mean, you can get flow by. They have something they call a power head. But you plug it in, it uses more electricity. It's basically a little a propeller on it, and it has to have a cage around it because if a fish got too close to it without the cage, it'd chop them up. So you can. A lot of people buy those and put those in, and they work. They push a lot of water, but it's also takes more electricity. This is just one little air pump that doesn't use much electricity, but you get a very good result out of it without costing a lot. All right, so I'm going to turn the light on. So I'm going to get you up close so you can start seeing these zebras. There's 5 pairs, 5 adults and 5 females in this tank. They're all over 3 years old, probably 3.5. So they're old enough to breed. So hopefully they will like what I did here. Those are the males that are in the caves. The females hang out underneath. See, like that's probably a girl back there. The females just hang around the area. They don't ever occupy a cave. See, that's a really good sign right there. There's a female sitting on top of the cave. Did you see some wigglers? I mean, I'll have to check. I don't know. But that's a good sign too, is when the female sits on top of the cave like that. It means that she is thinking about it. She's seeing if she likes that male, if she likes that cave, she likes the location, etc., etc. I'd be kind of surprised if there's wigglers, but I will after stream I will definitely take a closer look. But anyway, this is recently redone, and I put, I don't know if you noticed the long chunks of tile that everything's sitting on. And what that does is it keeps them from stirring up the substrate. Because this substrate is kind of powdery and makes a mess if the fish dig into it and stir it up too much. So I think this is going to work out really well. They can do their little spawning activities without moving a lot of substrate. Now we do have a cave here on the end that's not very well protected, so it's kind of the low income rental property area. It's not high in demand as opposed to some of these others. There's 5 caves total in here, but I'm going to try to get something to help cover that up a little bit better so that it'll be a little more desirable. They like to feel safe, just like any of us. You want to make them fat and happy and make them feel safe. And let Mother Nature take its course. Hopefully. We keep the tank. I keep this tank at 83 degrees. So it runs between 82 and 83. You can go higher, but I really don't. I don't think it's necessary. But anyway, this is. You have to lower the rent on that cave, yes. Yep. But that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate you guys being here. Feel free to like and share if you know anybody that might be interested in talking fish. I think I'm gonna just stick with YouTube because it will save it for people who can see. They can watch it later. I know Twitch on FayFam TV, Twitch would save it too, but it only saves it for so long. YouTube will keep it forever, I think. And I do have actually 80 subscribers over there on YouTube. So hopefully that's 80 fish people. And don't get me wrong, I really appreciate you guys' support. Even though you're probably technically not fish people. Although I'm trying to convert some of you. But anyway, so I think I'm going to just concentrate on YouTube. So that may mean Neo says fish people for the win. That may mean that I may try to start actually live streaming more often, but it'll be on YouTube. So just be sure, if you care, to turn your notifications. You get over on YouTube, you got to hit the bell or it won't send you a notification. You can be subscribed all day long, but if you don't hit the bell, it won't notify you. That's how YouTube operates. I thought about TikTok, but TikTok to me is so unstable, and they really, I guess it's because the Chinese government is in control of it or something. Yes, Neo, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, comment all you want. It doesn't matter what you say on there. YouTube just likes it if you comment. But TikTok, to me, it's unstable, and they censor you. There's words you can't say over there, and it's like you got to tiptoe around. If I say, well, this fish killed that fish, then I get a strike against me for saying the word kill. You have to say unalived. So I don't know. To me, it's just ridiculous stuff. Maybe I'm just old and I don't want to put up with it. So I'm not going to, put in a whole bunch of effort over there on TikTok and just to have it all go away for no apparent reason someday. So I decided I'm going to focus on YouTube, and that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to try to be uploading more videos and stuff, and like I said, concentrate on YouTube. But hopefully, well, I don't know. Janae wasn't feeling good today, so we'll see what tomorrow holds. But maybe we can see you tomorrow on our regular FayFam TV and play some World of Warcraft retail. So, but that'll be all for me for tonight. I appreciate you guys. And feel free to, like Neo said, like, comment, share, subscribe. All right, Neo, y'all have a good night. RB, take care. Drogo, if you're still here, take care. And hopefully we'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Now, let's see. How do I end the stream? I think. Is it that? No. Yes, we're going to stop streaming. Okay. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.